Hey everyone, I'm Dave. This is my wife Sarah and our dog Chasey. Today I'm going to tell you this story of how we built our home on wheels in 10 weeks in the US as foreigners. Hope you enjoy.
A few months ago, everything changed. We walked away from our entire life family, friends, our home, our jobs, our routines. We packed two backpacks, grabbed our dog, and boarded on a one way flight to the United States. This wasn't a vacation. It wasn't a let's see how it goes. It was a decision. For 5 years, we worked nonstop, saved every penny, every dollar, and kept talking about a life we weren't living yet. Slow mornings, building something with our own hands, exploring instead of commuting, stories instead of routines. At some point, we realized something uncomfortable. Dreams don't move forward unless you do. So we stopped talking and started building. Landing in the US was the first oh damn moment. Our goal sounded simple: buy a van, build a home. In reality, we didn't even know how to buy a car as foreigners. Insurance, plates, addresses, paperwork, we didn't understand, all while living out of suitcases with a dog. 2 weeks disappeared into Craigslist listings, Facebook scams, and long drives around northern New Jersey, looking for something that wasn't completely destroyed. Everything in our budget looked like it had survived multiple wars. Then we pivoted and found it, a Ram Promaster, clean, low mileage, well cared for. We took it to an inspection, held our breath, and when we picked it up, we looked at each other and said, "This is it. This is home." That's when the joke was on us, because now the real work started. The build begins, and so does the test. Yes, I am an electrical engineer, and yes, we'd built a small SUV camper before. None of that really prepares you for a full van conversion. New country, new tools, new materials, a measurement system we didn't understand. Inches? Feet? Fahrenheit? Why? We bought tools we couldn't name and immediately used them wrong. If biting off more than you can chew had a photo, well, it was us. We landed in a small town in Vermont and called it home for 10 weeks. Beautiful, quiet, kind people, and exactly one Home Depot 45 minutes away. Every wrong cut, an hour and a half. Every missing screw, an hour and a half. The distance forced us to slow down and think twice before every decision. At the beginning, excitement carried us. But excitement fades fast when you are building a house from scratch. And this is where the build stopped being just a build and start mirroring everything else in our lives. When we cleaned the van and treated rust, it felt like stripping away the old life we left behind. When we sound deadened the walls and laid the subfloor, making mistakes after mistakes, we were learning how to quiet our doubts creeping into our heads. When we cut insulation for the ceiling, glued it, pre-glued it, and re-glued it, that was our first real test for patience, and honestly, of us as a couple. Then came the first irreversible moment, cutting a window into the sliding door. That cut felt heavier than it should have, like saying, there's no going back now. From there, framing, roof rack, bunk windows, leaks, reinstallations, and misalignments. 100 tiny frustrations that forced us to breathe, reset, and keep moving. Every time something didn't work, the same thought came up. What if the build doesn't work? And deeper than that, what if the dream doesn't work either? In the middle of this, life didn't pause. We celebrated our first 4th of July right there in Vermont. Not the America you see on TV, but small towns, fireworks, families, kindness. It was one of the moments that made us fall in love with this country and its people. In July, right in the chaos of the build, Sarah had her birthday. I decided we needed a break, so we drove 4 hours each way. to the closest surf pool in New Jersey. We arrived, boards ready, 3 surfers went before us, then the system stopped. Session cancelled. God had other plans. So instead, we stayed in a hotel, rested, laughed, and remembered why we were doing all of this in the first place. By this point, we'd been to Home Depot so many times that employees started recognizing us. They asked how the van was going, helped us solve problems, rooted for us. Strangers started feeling like part of the journey. We also got to experience spring turning into summer in Vermont. Our first ever deer sighting, eating wild strawberries straight from the forest, and being warned that a bear was somewhere nearby. At the end of July, Sarah's parents arrived and stayed until mid-August. That support changed everything. The build didn't get easier, but mentally, it got lighter. Pressure turns the build into a sprint. Then came the insurance nightmare. Our first insurance company canceled us after a week. They had to give us 30 days notice, which saved us, but the new company demanded proof that the van is qualified as an RV, which meant one thing: we had a deadline. Amenities, photos, finished systems, no excuses. That pressure turned the build into a full sprint. Cutting the hole for the Max Air fan hurt in our throat. Solar panels under unpredictable Vermont weather, rebuilding the electrical box 3 times, fixing roof leaks again, building internal flares so we could sleep sideways, a lightweight ceiling made from mismatched plywood that somehow became our favorite feature, walls, upholstery, trim, you name it. Sometimes we worked in a perfect sync. Sometimes we argued. Sometimes one of us wanted to quit. But every time we came back to the same point. We didn't come this far to stop. The final push. The bed wall, under bed cabinets, smoking drill moment, drawers, kitchen framing, fridge, sink, butcher block, backsplash. The shower build nearly broke us. Framing, waterproofing, sloped floor, and of course the circular saw died at the worst possible moment. 2-hour drive for a replacement. Upper cabinets, painting, seating. And finally, after 2 months, the water tank arrived. Plumbing, wiring, leak tests. Shoe drawer, cushions, upholstery. Gray water system, Starlink, swivel seats. Final ceiling. Every screw felt like a promise to the life we wanted. By the end, the town knew us. People stopped by, asked questions, cheered us on. We arrived as strangers and left feeling like locals. Leaving hurt more than we expected, but chasing a dream means trading comfort for possibility. And now, if you are still watching, thank you. You are exactly who this channel is for. We did it. 10 weeks. Thousands of screws. Hundreds of mistakes. Countless moments of doubt. And now, we are on the road, starting our Baja journey. Beaches, deserts, fishing villages, surf breaks. Long-term, Mexico, Central America, meeting people, learning culture, filming everything. And if you are watching this with a dream you kept postponing, stop waiting. We are not special. We are just stubborn enough not to quit. If 2 people who didn't know what a stud was can build a home on wheels, you can build whatever dream is sitting in your heart. This is just the beginning. Thank you so much for being here. Now, enjoy the build. And well, let's hit the road.